Hello, little ones. I take it you have received my commission,
Some organizer you are! It's nearly time for the festival and you're still over here ramping things up for your light novel business! Shouldn't you be getting back to the Grand Narukami Shrine?
That almost shredded my ears.
You weren't thinking of dumping all the festival preparations on us, were you? If so, then you can forget it! Paimon won't accept such a commission!
Yeah, forget it.
Miss Honorary Knight, Paimon! It's Klee! Were you also invited to the Irodori Festival? No, Albedo's the one who received the invitation.
It seems that you already know why I'm here. Just so you're aware, I'll be using my pen name in Inazuma, Calx.
Okie dokie. Don't worry, Albedo. I'll be on my best behavior.
Excuse me, but you must be Calx, the one who was invited to paint the 5 kasen for the festival? I do apologize, but please make yourself comfortable at the International Trade Association, and I will let Mr. Hirayama know to send you the materials right away.
Excuse me, but is there something wrong with the latest volume of A Legend of Sword?
Huh? How did you know?
Since you were all aware that Mr. Hirayama needed to send me some supporting materials, that means the editorial director didn't forget about it. Instead, something urgent must have cropped up. To add to that, despite being aware that I am Calx, you were still unwilling to let me go to Mr. Hirayama directly. After considering these factors, the only reason you would try to stall me is if something happened to A Legend of Sword, which I did the illustrations for.
So the author of A Legend of Sword is Jayu. Sounds familiar. Hey, isn't that Shincho's pen name?
What's the point of having a pen name when you have Paimon?
Hello, you must be here to take part in the Irodori Festival. We're the festival guides, and we'll show you around.
Yes, that's right. We are bards from Mondstadt.
Oh, wait, really? I didn't catch that. Paimon, what are you doing?
These guests are all bards, aren't they? Well, where's Tone Deaf Bard then?
Venti is the suspicious person. Oh no.
Oh, Venti! You didn't really come here illegally, did you?
You arrived in Inazuma via similar means, or so I heard.
Similar means?
Let's not bring up the past now.
I must have fallen asleep in the cargo crate while carefully comparing the tastes of dandelion wine and Inazuman sake. Actually, I did hear some faint footsteps around me a couple of times, but I didn't consider the sound anything out of the ordinary.
From the facts that have been presented to us, we can draw at least 3 conclusions now. First, whoever took the novels is not a spur-of-the-moment burglar. They had their sights on the books from the very beginning. Second, the culprit was very familiar with the warehouse, and might even have a key. And third...
There must be more than one criminal involved.
I knew you'd catch on, Traveler. One person couldn't possibly transport so many heavy books in such a short window of time. It must have been a team effort. It goes without saying that Venti clearly does not match up with our culprits.
I suppose I'm free as a bird then.
Not so fast.
Not so fast. Even though we've cleared the theft allegations, we still haven't ascertained whether your arrival in Inazuma was legal or not.
Huh? You're way ahead of Paimon. Do you two already know where the invitation letter is?
Does the cape has pocket? The hat?
Ah, yes! I remember now. I knew you'd help me find it. Traveler, Albedo, would you mind coming over here for a moment? There's something peculiar that I think you should see. Indeed. When I awakened to find myself in the warehouse this morning, I discovered this paper in the cargo crate where I was sleeping. Ah, this story sounds familiar to my ear. Where have I heard it?
Seriously? It's literally the same story you just experienced yesterday!
Meeting together in Inazuma like this is a most rare occasion. Since we've been busy from the start of the day, let us find an inn with good drink to keep our thirst at bay.
If I use a model as reference for the piece, we must pay him back with the appropriate recompense.
In that case, we'll need to order more dishes.
Wow, you really came through, Albedo. You were able to complete the first portrait before the opening ceremony. Oh, we aren't actually guests. We're actually guides for the Irodori Festival.
You seem a little down. Did he somehow catch wind about his books being stolen?
There was a piece of paper underneath my bag. Strange. I don't recall seeing it there before.
Wait, what? How did this happen? This sounds a lot like the work of a phantom thief.
The story you found before?
We cannot tell him about the stolen books.
Oh yeah, in the warehouse down by the poem hunt competition.
There's a chance of meeting Calx in person? Really? That's wonderful! I knew that Calx would attend the Irodori festival, but convincing my father to let me come to Inazuma was proving to be quite the high hurdle. I had to really rack my mind to come up with the excuse of evaluating the investment value of Theater Mechanicum. You must be Calx. It's a great pleasure to finally meet you. I am the author of A Legend of Sword, forgive me. It's rude of me to introduce myself by my pen name when meeting in person. Please, call me Xingqiu.
And you may call me Albedo, then.
Speaking of dining, Shimura's unagi chasuke is quite delicious. Would you like to go there?
Something didn't quite add up just now.
Xingqiu was a little suspicious. Wait.
Suiko lost Aoi no Okina's poem in a drunken stupor. So, Aoi no Okina recovered the poem and gave it to some mysterious person. Huh? Wait a minute. Could today's story be hinting that the one who stole the latest copies of A Legend of Sword is Xingqiu himself?
And that is precisely the point of suspicion. If Xingqiu had only just arrived in Inazuma, how could he recommend Shimura's Chasuke?
Oh, that's right. I mean, he could have Googled it.
Oh, come to think of it, Xingqiu mentioned that he'd like to thank you for finishing the illustrations on time. He said they looked amazing despite the time you had.
Is that so? That is also a very valuable clue.
So the weather at sea has been bad these past few days?
It sure has. A few guests from Liyue were just telling me that their boat was heaving and rolling all the way here. They couldn't do anything but sleep the entire trip.
To be honest, there wasn't much to see. Just water all around, morning to night. The sheer monotony of the trip caused everyone to grow a little impatient. So, when the peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma, everyone crowded the deck to have a look. However, the ship sailed along at a crawling pace. It took a whole day from the time we saw the mountain peak to the time we docked. Speaking of illustrations, Albedo, I've long wished to express my sincerest gratitude for providing the illustrations in my novel. My novel didn't sell well in Liyue, so I must admit that I had some reservations regarding its potential. Yet you've consistently managed to select the most important scene of the chapter for your illustrations. This made me feel as though what I was trying to express could be understood after all.
Doesn't sound like anything suspicious has come up so far.
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Inazuma. So, logically speaking, there's no way he could possibly know what the illustrations look like.
Oh,
Oh! Well, if this isn't a coincidence. I didn't expect to see everyone here. I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the criminal who stole all those copies of A Legend of Sword. You needn't worry about it any longer.
Yes, to be frank, calligraphy is not my strong point, so signing events are really not my forte.
Even though such an event will be difficult for Genyu, after telling him how important the plans were to me, he immediately boarded a ship to Inazuma to come up with a solution. So these past few days, Jinyu has been actively practicing his handwriting. However, it takes time to sign each book, and we realized the time we reserved for the signing was not nearly enough. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to my place. That way, Jinyu could use these few days to sign them all.
Hey, come on, you two. Loosen up a little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding. Besides, everyone has something they do not wish others to see.
I understand. Murata, go back to Yae Publishing House and get Aratani to book a room on the second floor of the Uyu restaurant. We'll be using it for Genyu's emergency calligraphy lessons.
Wonder how Shincho's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Hey, do you think whoever left those stories for us could be hiding somewhere nearby?
Hiding? It's probably in plain sight.
Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please help Shincho with something? He's a friend of ours, and the release of his new book is super important to him. Oh, what's that sound? It was just a cat. Looks like we can't make them reveal themselves that easily. It's getting late now. Well, let's go back and get some rest. We still have to go to the docks and wait for another ship tomorrow morning.
Ah, yes. You see, when I came off the boat with everyone just now, I suddenly heard light footsteps around me.
Huh? Traveler, what are you thinking about?
Interesting. The story of the 5 Kasen appears again, and with a timely solution. In both Liyue and Inazuma, seals are widely used as the equivalents of a signature. If we use a stamp to leave the author's seal on the books, then we could make the signature process a lot easier. Of course, a seal on its own is not enough. So, I propose that each signature consists of 2 parts. First, we'll use a personalized seal. We can simply carve one using Chenyu's signature as the design. In addition, I'll also design a simple but elegant pattern that's easy for Chenyu to write. That way, he will only need to draw a simple pattern on each book.
Let me think. All right, I think that would work. Not only does it still involve the author's own handwriting, but the result should be very beautiful as well.
So, what you mean to say is, I've been saved from this predicament?
Oh, it's Ayaka! And Venti! That's an interesting combo.
I was just going to the festival venue to prepare the Ikebana lesson when I found a strange piece of paper on a flower stand.
Wow, look! It's really working! More words have appeared on the paper! Let Paimon see what it says. Which means Akihito didn't plagiarize his work. He was set up!
Kazuha, Ayaka, would you be willing to be the models for my paintings?
Long ago, Inazuma had 5 legendary poets. People bestowed upon them the title of the 5 Kasen.
One year, the poet Suiko made his way to Tenshukaku and presented the Kasen's work for the shogun's perusal. But a page from the works of Aoi no Okina had been torn out, and Suiko was questioned regarding the matter. Suiko pleaded guilty. He admitted to drinking at the tavern the night before, and vaguely recalled a mysterious figure approaching while he was intoxicated.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akihito.
Akihito had once belonged to the 5 Kasen. Each poem he composed, he marked with a scarlet red seal, hence the Aka in his name. Such a distinguished writer was he, and yet one of the poems he had submitted the previous year was found to be plagiarized. Akihito was exiled for his crimes, and only 4 of the 5 Kasen remained.
Sumizome went over Akihito's poems and noticed that the plagiarized poem lacked his seal. She immersed his poetry in a stream nearby, and only on the plagiarized poem did the ink run. Aoi no Okina passed by and witnessed Sumizome's doing, which he then recorded in a poem. Thus transpired the events of Suiko's poetry submission, and this is where the story comes to an end.
Yeah. Ever since we completed the story of the 5 Kasen, there's still one thing Paimon hasn't been able to figure out. One of the 5 Kasen is called Kuranushi, right? It's just that, how could the story of the 5 Kasen finish without him appearing at all?
Oh, have you really not noticed?
Huh? Not noticed what? This is no time to be playing games, Tone Deaf Bard!
An average person could never understand the scene of a young girl washing Akihito's poetry collection in a stream. Even Aoi no Okina couldn't figure out the meaning behind Sumizome's actions. He was simply reminiscing and thinking about his old acquaintances. However, for the perpetrator who framed Akihito, it was completely obvious. He was worried that if this poem was seen by the Shogun, then the Shogun could discover the truth behind the plagiarism incident. If that happened, then he'd be finished. So, in desperation, he threatened Aoi no Okina to make him tear out this poem.
Which means, the one who threatened Aoi no Okina is the same person that framed Akihito! What? Kuranushi?
The story of the 5 Kasen has more or less reflected everything that's been happening around us lately. Which begs the question, is there a Kuranushi in our world as well?
Kaidehara, please forgive my assumption, but perhaps you were thinking of the Raiden Gokuden? The Raiden Gokuden were once the top 5 schools of the forging art in Inazuma. Although these families were swordsmiths by craft, they also held many important positions in the Yashiro Commission. Unfortunately, of the 5, only the Aminoma art still maintains its artisan lineage. The descendants of the Ishin art are also still alive, but the craft has been lost to time. The descendants of the Ishin art are none other than the Kaidehara family. I heard my elder brother mention that the decline of the Raiden Gokuden happened very rapidly. In the span of a few decades, 3 of the families suffered various misfortunes and disappeared completely. Later, there was speculation that all of these misfortunes stemmed from some background machinations, meaning that someone wanted to wipe out the Raiden Gokuden. However, since not every family of the Raiden Gokuden came to ruin, such explanations were treated as nothing more than a conspiracy theory.
However, I know that a major incident happened to my great-grandfather when he was young. Not only did it affect the Kaedehara clan, but it nearly jeopardized the Kamisato clan's position in the Yashiro Commission as well. In my great-grandfather's generation, the Ishin art was tasked with forging an important Goshinto according to an ancient forging diagram. Though all the craftsmen involved were very experienced, the process was still unsuccessful. Every blade that was forged was defective. When the deadline came, the blade still wasn't finished, so the craftsmen all fled and hid for fear of punishment. The Kaedehara clan and Yashiro Commission then conducted an investigation. My great-grandfather and the head of the Kamisato clan eventually tracked down the craftsmen near the seaside. However, they met fierce resistance from the craftsmen, and in the end they were unable to prevent them from escaping by sea. The Kaedehara clan was severely punished for the swordsmiths that had escaped, and the family gradually fell into decline. Moreover, I heard that the head of the Kamisato clan was injured by the fleeing swordsmiths. which combined with his advanced age caused him to pass away shortly thereafter.
Yes. The sudden passing of the family head left the Kamisato clan leaderless. Treacherous people took advantage of the situation and put the family's status in the Yashiro Commission at jeopardy.
The failure to forge the blade was ultimately attributed to a lack of required skill and finesse. The Kaedahara clan and the Yashiro Commission always believed that was the case. However, the story of the 5 Kasen seems to imply that the failure didn't stem from a lack of skill, but rather, the diagram had been tampered with by someone.
Although the effect is not too obvious, you can still see that some words have now started to smudge. Kazuha, this is clear evidence that this chart was indeed tampered with. Someone framed the Kaedahara clan all those years ago.
Yesterday, the former family servant said that my great-grandfather even went to the Yashiro Commission to request that diagram from the head of the Kamisato clan. He then showed that diagram to my grandfather and asked him and his subordinates to try to forge the sword. Sure enough, my grandfather also failed. My great-grandfather then told him, "If you can't find the secret within, then the Ishin art deserves to fade from the world."
Kazuha, if your great-grandfather thought that the Ishin art lacked finesse, then after witnessing his son's failure, wouldn't he have said something more along the lines of, "Your skills aren't sufficient"?
Kaedehara, about the Vision Hunt decree.
That's all in the past now, Kujo-Sara. There's no need to mention it again. I know you've also had your own convictions and struggles. However, may I ask something of you?
Yes? What is it?
Currently, I have no plans to stay in Inazuma. As a result, those items from my family's estate are of no use to me. Madam Kujo, I believe you are a person of integrity. After our investigation is over, I'd like to ask if you can handle those belongings for me. Please, sell them, and use the money to help the poor.
All right, I understand. I'll be sure to take care of it.
Let Paimon see! Oh, there seems to be a couple uneven characters etched into the scabbard. Kazu-ha. Wow, so it really was Kazuha's! Paimon can imagine what Kazuha was like as a kid.
Do you see all these pots here? Some of them are bound to have liquor inside, right?
Hey! Everyone else is trying hard to help, and you're over here looking for a drink? Well, Paimon doesn't really get why Kazuha told Sara to sell all these belongings. What if we don't end up finding anything today? Then wouldn't Kazuha lose the chance of finding out what really happened all those years ago?
Since Kazuha made such a request to Sara, that indicates he's already made his choice. Whether we find out the truth or not today, or whatever it turns out to be, he's ready to accept it. No, not intuition. Rather, I've lived for a long time now, so you could say I have some experience in reading people.
Now that you mention it, this flower pot is kinda suspicious.
Yes. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Just as everyone guessed, after I sprinkled some water onto the paper, writing did indeed begin to appear on it. It is a letter, written by my great-grandfather. To whoever reads this letter, I, Kaedahara Yoshinori, have been held to a certain secret throughout my entire life. I don't have much longer in this world, and after much consideration, I've finally decided to disclose the matter. All those years ago, when I was pursuing the swordsmiths alongside Commissioner Kamisato of the Yashiro Commission, I was not injured by one of the fleeing smiths. Rather,
it was night, and after the clues led us down to shore, I waited for the culprits to show themselves. However, there were no swordsmiths in sight, only a single eccentric stranger. This stranger claimed to be the one behind the failed forgings and said that he had been patiently waiting for us. He then threatened to destroy the Raiden Gokuden. That person was of able body, and in a blink of an eye, myself and the accompanying samurai had been defeated. Commissioner Kamisato was severely wounded, and I barely escaped death myself. My hat had fortunately blunted a blow to my head. The unusual stranger could have easily claimed my life at that moment, but after noticing my appearance, he stopped his attacks and sternly asked if I had any connection with the name Niwa. I answered that it was my father's surname, and after my father disappeared, I was adopted by the Kaedahara family. Upon hearing my answer, the stranger paused. After a long silence, he suddenly said, "Tell her this. My name is Kunikuzushi." He then turned and left.
However, due to the encounter, the head of the Kamisato clan was worried that my great-grandfather would be falsely accused of being involved with the perpetrator. So even on his deathbed, the master of the Kamisato clan cautioned my great-grandfather to never speak of what happened.
I will say that I'm most satisfied with this particular work. I even made a special trip to see someone in order to complete it. They gave me some very valuable suggestions.
Speaking of good sides with sake, I personally prefer fried tofu.
Don't miss the official stall of the Yai Publishing House.
Ah.
I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I remember what it was. Toma sure is taking his sweet time.
Yes. Today is one of the rare occasions when Brother isn't busy. I was going to buy some books, but he said he wanted to come along. His treat. However, he forgot his wallet at home, so he asked Toma to go back and fetch it for him.
Bruh.
I was thinking, in some ways, each and every one of us are similar to this country. It might take a different amount of time for different people, but there will inevitably come a day when each person can let go of their burdens. And when they finally let go, they are free to follow the wind as they please.
Huh? What's this? This piece depicts nothing but a background! I suppose Calx must have forgotten to include the character.
Perhaps we can assume that every creator had a different understanding of Kuronushi. So, in the same way, I also wanted to leave this character to everyone's own imagination.
Oh, right! We still haven't figured out who left those stories of the 5 Kasen for us to find.
Yes, in fact, before doing the portrait of Kuronushi, I visited the person who left those stories and confirmed a few things. I think my current approach to this portrait is the most correct one. After all, there are some things that are better left obscure and out of the public eye.
Oh, are you asking about the one who left the stories of the 5 Kasen? I do happen to know their true identity, but things may be a little more complicated than you think.
First of all, the start of this whole incident was due to mere happenstance. You see, Lady Yai happened to catch sight of Shincho and the editor carrying the books away one night. She thought it was interesting, so she asked me to tease them a bit. But using the story of the 5 Kasen to guide you to the Kaedahara family's secrets was my personal touch. And more importantly, I hoped that while Kazuha and Ayaka were looking for the answers together, they would have some reliable friends by their side. Reliable friends who would be willing to protect them and make measured decisions. Friends who would spare no effort to lend a helping hand in times of trouble. Because it is also very likely that you will face the same enemy together in the future. You already know the answer deep down inside, don't you? The answer is actually hidden in the portrait of Kuronushi.
It's the Balladeer!
It was just after the Shogun announced the abolition of the Sakoku decree. I heard that something had happened at the Tenryo Commission. They had discovered signs that someone had entered the warehouse storing the Commission's articles of evidence and confiscated items. But nothing was stolen. In the meantime, I sent a member of the Shumatsuban to keep watch over the warehouse. And sure enough, someone was sneaking in and rummaging through the belongings of the Kaedahara clan. I let him search for a while, but in the end, he found nothing. Soon after, he had to leave Inazuma by boat. The best way to protect a secret is to treat it as if it doesn't exist, is it not? Besides, the identity of this person is not hard to guess.
安らかに。
Mighty Shogun.
Oh, mighty Shogun? Who approved of this novel? Raiden is not gonna be happy about this. But Lady Yaya just said, don't worry about it, as long as it sells, it's all good. And in fact, this book actually sold pretty well. But every time I look at this text, I can only think our Shogun truly is a forgiving soul.
What a coincidence. I was wondering where I might be able to find you, and here you are.
Miss me? What's up?
Well, can't I come and see you when nothing is up?
Yay! Miss Honorary Knight's here! What you talking about, Miss Honorary Knight? Are we gonna go play? Yeah! But Albedo is really busy. I can't go too far away or he'll be worried about me. Aw, Clee, you're such a thoughtful kid.
Unlike Paimon.
Paimon's very thoughtful, thank you very much. Paimon always thinks of you whenever she's eating a delicious slime.
Let's introduce her to someone interesting.
Nice to meet you, Klee. I'm Yuimiya, and I run Naganohara Fireworks.
Hello.
Hey, Klee! Since you like four-leaf clover so much, why don't I make a firework with a four-leaf clover pattern and set it off for you?
Yeah! And after the fireworks, we can go fish blasting with Dodoko.
No explosions allowed.
By Kawabunga Iki. Yoimiya, this is a really strange name.
Who's this Kawabunga? It's pronounced Kayabuki Ike. That would be me.
Outlander's big brain? Is it a story about the best of friends?
Absolutely not. I would never allow such cliches in one of my novels. This is a book about betrayal, blood, and tears. A long and lonely struggle. A stubborn samurai's path to the truth. This is the kind of story that needs to be told.
Oh, is that right? Well, I'm not sure that's a very, suitable story for Klee. We might keep looking around.
Hey, miss! Don't go! Are you sure you don't want a copy? I'll give you 40% off.
I really want to invite Miss Ryoko to the festival.
Perfect! Okay, so I have some paper, paintbrushes, and paint at the shop. Let's go to the shop and paint your story there.
Yay! Let's go, let's go! It's okay, Yoimiya. I have some Mora. Look.
50 Mora is probably not quite enough.
So, I think I should just go fish blasting to earn some Mora.
No fish blasting. Paimon and the Traveler said so.
Auntie Aratani, can you help me get Dodoko's story printed so that everybody can see it?
The deadline has passed for accepting printing orders for the Irodori festival.
Auntie, are you saying Dodoko won't be able to meet everyone after all?
Oh, I'm sorry, little girl.
But our mission at Yai Publishing House is to bring dreams and happiness to the masses. It would be a crying shame if we couldn't even help one adorable little girl fulfill her wish. Let me think. Oh, I know. Yoimiya, little girl, you can print your book, but on one condition, okay?
Of course, Lady Guji. Just tell us. Whatever this condition is, I am ready to face it.
Dear me, it's nothing that horrendous. You make it sound like I'm some sort of wicked witch. All I mean is, if you want to get your work printed now, there is only one way. You have to combine it with another print.
Of course, Todoko didn't want Klee to have to brave such dangers. This is a cute picture! In Inazuma, the nation of lightning, the flowers and grasses are all purple, and the fish and the birds are also purple. Everything is purple. Albedo would probably run out of purple paint trying to paint it all. Fortunately. As long as our imaginations don't run dry, our minds will be freer than all others. And Klee blurted out, "We'll always be best friends." See, Todoko was so happy to be together with its good friends. And now you are Todoko's good friends too, so you two should go on a grand adventure with your friends.
We won't charge you a printing fee, but in exchange, the extra copies of your book will be included as a free gift with purchases of the other book. Is that okay with you?
Oh, are you sure? I mean, it's fine by us. But what does the author of the book think?
Actually, the book that yours was printed with is called the Teyvat Travel Guide.
Oh, that's Klee's mom's book.
Yep, I'm super happy because my book gets to be released together with Mommy's book. It's like me and Mommy going on an adventure together. No need to be shy. Actually, Miko told us that you got up super early this one time to make sure you could be the first in line to buy one of these figurines.
That is not a figurine. It's a statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Agosho, God of Thunder. Do I make myself clear? This particular statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Agosho, God of Thunder, is a brand new addition. There will only be 300 available in this batch, and there is a limit of 1 per customer.
Didn't you say they're limited to 1 per customer? This figurine is super popular. It must be pretty tough to find someone happy to buy one for you and not for themselves.
I am fortunate to have had Lady Guji's help this time. I likely would have struggled to find a candidate on my own. As well as being willing, they would need to be an early riser, and also tall enough to beat the crowds to the top shelf items.
Early riser and tall. No way. I've been here since last night so I could buy a figurine. But after waiting and waiting, my eyes started to feel real droopy. And...
Why so glum? Didn't manage to get your hands on a statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Agosho, God of Thunder, by any chance? Sell it? Huh. I ain't selling. Not after all the effort I put in to get a hold of this. Go ask someone else.
After coming all this way to Inazuma, and especially getting up early, I still walk away empty-handed. The first batch was smaller than I expected. And who knows when the next batch will come out?
Huh. You didn't manage to get one either? That's strange. When I came to line up this morning, I checked with my friend who'd already bought one. She'd been lining up since before sunrise, and she was around the 100th in line. I was only 150 places behind her, so surely I should have gotten one. Something's wrong here. I'm gonna go ask the shopkeeper for an explanation.
Terribly sorry. I was otherwise occupied this morning and had someone else watch the shop. So I don't know all the details, but according to our records, we did sell the full 300.
I got it. There were at least 16 snores between each thank you for your patronage. 16 snores should be about 1 minute. And if we add on the time for moving the boxes and stocking the shelves... 1 Right. Sales only started about 4 hours ago, so there's definitely a problem with the amount. Well, the shop was pretty strict with this promotion. Not only was there a 1 per customer limit, they even checked people's identity. So there's no way anyone could have bought more than one. Huh? How come?
How did you know? To my surprise, I saw him moving boxes and boxes worth of statues out of the store. Needless to say, I was all ready to march up and demand to know what was going on. But...
You think this is a game or something? If you're not serious about buying, quit wasting my time. I should be moving on to my next location by now, not stuck here arguing with you.
The next location you move to will be the police station. You are under arrest for abusing your position for personal gain and falsifying accounts. Do not attempt to resist. The evidence is indisputable.
Wait, hold on. Although this statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder, was only intended as a display item, now that I think about it, why don't you have it, as a gesture of my gratitude?
Of course. This is a prototype designed by Yae Publishing House's top artist and crafted by the most skilled lacquerware master in Inazuma City. Otherwise, how could one hope to capture even 1,000th of the Almighty Shogun's majesty? Let alone maintain it. To do that, you must buy a special kind of shrine and worship it properly. It's also essential to clean it often to avoid a buildup of dust, and it's best practice to hire a craftsman to perform regular maintenance. What's wrong? These are the 5 principles for maintenance of the statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder. And I haven't even finished explaining the first one.
I never knew there was such a fuss over these tiny figurines. I'm surprised Miko never mentioned it to me.
Your Excellency, I've yet to finish the defense arrangements for the Irodori festival. Please excuse me.
If these complaints can't be resolved and Madame Kujo finds out, I'll lose my bonus this month for sure.
Hugging a photo board, huh? We know who would do something like that.
Yo, right. Yeah, well, who's got a problem? The Arataki gang considers it our born duty to help those in need.
You are the problem.
Wait, huh? It's not every day that you get to go to an Irodori festival, right? So priority number 1 right now is enjoying ourselves to the max!
And the way you chose to enjoy yourselves was to commandeer a novelty photo board?
So, at first, Boss brought us here to buy some drinks. He said there was some sort of Irodori Festival limited edition soft drink available.
That's right. This ain't no ordinary drink either. It's a special edition joint creation of Sailing Breeze and Yae Publishing House, as featured in the popular novel Pretty Please Kitsune Guji.
One thing led to another, and by the time we finally got to Sailing Breeze's booth, all the drinks were sold out.
Toma, my bro, your eyes do not deceive you.
Well, I'm flattered, Ito. And it's nice to meet you too, bro.
Whoa. There's a serious bromance developing here.
Oh, a duel. In that case, I have a suggestion. Since your duel is taking place at the Irodori Festival, why don't you have a volunteering competition?
I give this idea an interest rating of 2 points. 1 for the Traveler, 1 for Toma.
Boss means, 2 points out of 100.
Wait a sec. What was that part about the, token of appreciation?
Oh, it's just a special edition drink produced by Yae Publishing House and Sailing Breeze. It's really nothing special.
Oh, so, Toma, my bro, my guy, my dude. Maybe I didn't explain properly. When I said 2 points, that's out of a total of 2.
If you want that drink, just ask Toma.
Hey, this is the mighty Arataki, above all bold-blooded Ito you're talking to here. I'm a say what I mean what I say, might sound mean, but I say it anyway kind of guy. And I say, we're gonna have this duel.
AKA doesn't want people to know he's only doing it for the drinks kind of guy.
Are you the volunteers? Perfect timing. As you can see, there's a lot of dust and dead leaves around my stand. I've just been so busy with my customers these past few days. I keep meaning to sweep up, but I just haven't found a spare moment. Can you help me clean up the place, please? Thank you so much.
my god, he's winning! Wait, is he skipping all the dialogue? How did he finish before me?
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Soy milk is actually one of the ingredients for the drink. It's freshly made every day. In fact, the last batch of soy milk we processed has just been sent over. You'll get to try it very soon.
What? So Sailing Breeze's special drink has soy milk in it?
Behold, the drink of champions, created by Sailing Breeze in collaboration with Yaoi Publishing House, and as featured in the popular work, Pretty Please Kitsune Guji? Drink of champions, it's time to come home.
Huh? Oh, my goodness. Okay, quick, grab Ito and follow me. I'll get a doctor. I sure hope it's not too serious.
Wow! It's Kokumi and Goro! So the Divine Priestess and the General of Watatsumi Island have come to take part in the Irodori Festival.
Her Excellency is traveling outside of Watatsumi Island and also meeting her pen pal today. As her general, it is my duty to ensure her safety at every turn.
Pen pal?
My. Who have we here?
Miko? Miko? Lady Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine. No wonder. I was just wondering where that air of superiority was coming from.
If it isn't the leader of Watatsumi Island, who looks as soft as a jellyfish, but whose words sting like one too.
Hello. Nice to meet you, fried tofu with all the frills.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine, soul of the deep.
Oh, it's you. I wasn't expecting you-know-who to show up. Oh, it completely caught me by surprise. I had no idea what to say to her. Next thing I knew, I'd apparently already taken cover.
Wow, you're a lucky customer. There's a coupon in one of the books you just bought, which entitles you to a free gift. Here you go. A toy fox. It's all yours.
What? A toy fox?
Are you okay? The hair on your tail is standing on end.
Seems like Goro still hasn't recovered from seeing Miko.
Oh my goodness. It's your lucky day today, sir. You were the 100th reader to buy the Saga of Hamavaran. That entitles you to receive a special edition version with a review personally written by Lady Yaoi herself.
Oh, are you serious?
Let me see. Oh, wow. Incredible! You got the golden ball! That's the grand prize!
Goro! You're a lucky dog today! So what is the grand prize anyway?
The grand prize is a full collection of each light novel published by Yaoi Publishing House. Not only is the prize awarded personally by Lady Yaoi, but you will also have the chance to shake hands and take a photo with her to commemorate the occasion.
What? Not only do I have to meet her, but I have to shake her hand and take a photo with her too? I have a request. I would like to ask Yaoi Publishing House to change the prize from light novels to books on agricultural science of equivalent value. You'll package the books. Then, what about the ceremony?
Lady Yaoi said selecting the books may take up a lot of your time and energy. To ensure you have fond memories of the Irodori Festival, she decided to cancel the ceremony. Although, she did leave you a letter. You can read it on your own time.
Dear Goro, I suppose you must have been extremely nervous when you heard about the prospect of the award ceremony and the photo. It came as a surprise indeed to learn that not only did you accept those conditions, you also made your own demands. Your courage has won my respect. Those books are a token of my goodwill to Watatsumi Island, and also my gift to you. I do hope you like them. Ah, yes, I'm sure that by this point you must be feeling ever so grateful for my kindness and are looking for a way to repay me, yes? Well, here's your chance. Yaoi Publishing House will host an event next month, and we are looking for someone to dress up as a character from a light novel and interact with the fans. Goro, you are not only patient, but also very beautiful. Why don't you come and help us? I'll prepare a tailor-made outfit just for you. Oh, and by the way, it'll be a woman's outfit.
I knew it! I knew she was up to something!
Yeah! Huh?